Welcome back to Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan. Quarterfinal matchup between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh continues. And Philly now up 2-0 after our singles and doubles. Kimberly Pressler is with the winning Philadelphia doubles team. Kimberly.
Thanks, Mike. That's right. The Philadelphia Hitmen are now up another point because of these two right here. They just won their doubles match. Ryan, you guys played very well together. You got 6 strikes in a row. Why is it that you guys do play so well together?
Well, we got a lot of chemistry together. We have a past. We've been friends for a long time, and we feed off each other very well.
Well, you could see that. 6 strikes in a row. You can't be mad at that. Now, you guys are going to head into the trios. Your teammates are. Dan, what kind of advice did you give to them? Because you guys just got off the lanes.
Yeah, I talked to Bill, and, just trying to feed off each other really well. I changed lanes in the middle of the game, so I just told him I made an extra move, so hopefully he takes that into consideration, and hopefully we can come out with another win.
Good. We'll see how they do. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Kimberly. Mike Jakubowski with Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. Interesting to note. It's really an interesting teaming of 2 similar styles, one from the left and one from the right in that doubles matchup.
Yeah, the similarity being a lot of speed and power, and both players certainly possess that. Check out Dan McClelland here, and that ball going through the pin so hard, and there's certainly no power outage for Ryan Simonelli. All this power proved to be too much for their competitors. These guys struck a lot.
And very interesting as the discussion about the blue oil continues. It's really an interesting tool, both for conversation and for the ability to analyze the action in a completely new way.
Makes my job a lot easier. And it's great for the viewers. You can actually see the balls tracking through the oil and where the area of play is. So on the left, it was before practice. You could see no bowling balls going down the lane. But on the right, as the blue starts to lighten up, right around that 3rd arrow on the right, you can see the ball track area. On the left, Simonelli has made just one little line just to the inside of 2nd arrow on the left. The reason why that side is not showing the wear that the right is, not enough shots have gone down the left side of the lane, and the left side of the lane is smoother. You're not going to see the track disappear on the left like you would on the right.
Every bowler, Randy, in the world is plagued by 10 pins and 7 pins on the left side. How about track tech talk, and let's talk 10 pins.
But the oil pattern plays a big role in that. As you see, that's a flat 10 where the 6 pin goes to the sidewall and lays in the channel. And this is just the same thing here of that 6 pin. It doesn't quite have enough power to get that 10 out. Now this is a ringing 10. You see the power of that 6 pin going up and around the 10 pin. Take another look at it. 6 pin second to your right. You can see that vicious motion as it swings around the 10. The reason for leaving the weak 10 and the ringing 10 are completely different. The flat 10 is the ball entering the pins too softly. The ball maybe runs out of energy right before it gets to the pocket. It's coming in at the wrong angle, but the point is there's just not enough power to drive that 6 into the 10. A ringing 10 is exactly the opposite. Too much entry angle, too much power stored, and that bowling ball breaking too sharply into the pocket will result in a 10 pin. But what I want the viewers at home to understand is watch your pin carry, watch what the pins are doing, because they're telling you something. If you're leaving a lot of 10 pins and you're right-handed, you're not using the right bowling ball, and you're not lined up properly.
Thanks for that track tech talk. And when we return to Thunderball Lanes, we will move on with our trios. And Philly maintains a 2-point lead. 1 point coming up next in trios. PBA League rolls on. Pittsburgh Jackrabbits, Philadelphia Hitmen at Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan, Philly, with a 2-0 lead as we enter the trios portion of our competition. Also good for 1 point. Our team game is a 3-point game. All the teams representative of the PBA League as we get into our trios action. O'Neill, Josh Blanchard, Mike Devaney. O'Neill will open and close 1st and 10th. Here we go. And the 4 and the 6 fall. Big break early for Philly.
Nice break for Bill O'Neill there. He didn't get too many breaks in the singles match, but he gets one right here. Take a look at the pin action. The big 4 standing for a second, 4-6 falling late.
Oscar Palermo leading off in trios here for Pittsburgh, down 0-2. Powerful strike for Palermo.
That is so much power going through the pins.
Oscar leading off, he'll bowl the first and 10th. Martin Larson will get frames 2, 5, and 8. Ronnie Russell gets frames 3, 6, and 9. And different from our Scotch doubles is each player will finish their own frame.
Take a look at this style. Martin Larson, another foreign player from Europe bowling on our tour.
And the Swede drops a rack. Larson winning a gold medal in doubles at the 2006 World Championships. Looking profile.
Good looking game. Great hand at the bottom. He keeps that hand nice and open on the inside part of the bowling ball. From Gothenburg, Sweden. There's another PBA champion from Gothenburg, Sweden.
Great shot.
His name was Mats Carlson.
Josh Blanchard, strike on the board, double apiece for Philly and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will need to rally back from 0-2 if they would wish to continue in the PBA League. The winner here advances to our semifinal round. Now Mike Devaney, first shot for Philadelphia.
Like a splat.
Opening turkey for Philadelphia. Trios is 3 bowlers per team. Player 1 bowls frame 1, player 2 bowls frame 2, player 3 bowls frame 3, and rotate through the order with the leadoff player finishing the 10th frame. Ronnie Russell up for Pittsburgh. Trying to even things up with another strike, 3rd frame. Turkey apiece.
Both teams perfect through 3 frames. Again, the high backswing of Ronnie Russell. Look at how vertical that swing gets. Ronnie Russell, pretty good athlete as well.
Rotating through the order back to the top of the trios lineup for Pittsburgh. Palermo strikes.
When he can stay balanced at the foul line, he makes really good shots.
That is another lead change. Another 5-10. Hitmen up, 4th frame.
Bill O'Neill, franchise player for these Philadelphia Hitmen, owned by Kevin Hart, managed by PBA Hall of Famer Jason Couch. All strikes.
The old pattern's broken down enough now to where we haven't seen a 10-pin yet. So the entry angle has changed. The players have moved a little deeper towards the middle part of the lane, and that's the subtle differences in our sport. Remember that in his singles match, Bill O'Neill was just slightly inside of the 3rd arrow, and that was a good 3 to 4 boards left of where he was playing. A shot there by Josh Blanchard. Carrying the wall shot. Nothing but strikes here in the trios competition. Hit him thin and watch him spin. That's some good pin action. Watch him open his hand at the top of the backswing. Watch this. See that? First miss. Actually, when he pushes the ball away, you can see that thumb kind of rotate to the outside part of the ball, and he leaves that hand on the inside part of the ball through the whole swing. You got to be careful with this spare because of the back pin, the 8-pin. You throw a hook ball at it and cover both pins with the ball. Kind of like that.
Bear back up, Ronnie.
The 2 and the sleeper 8.
Might be the only spare they leave this game.
Russell back up. Something happened on the approach, but it doesn't affect the outcome. Halfway through trios here at Thunderbolt Lanes, the Jackrabbits trying to mount a charge here against the Hitmen. More PBA League action after the break. PBA League quarterfinals roll on. Philadelphia Hitmen up 2-0 and a 12-pin lead here with 5 strikes in a row in our trios game. Team competition is coming up, and Kimberly Pressler is laneside with this update. Kimberly.
Thanks, Mike. I'm actually sitting on the bench with Patrick Allen, who is icing his knee. Why don't you tell us what's wrong, and do you think you're going to be able to continue?
Well, I should be able to continue. It just gets really inflamed. 50 games is a lot for me to bowl in a week. I got to make the top 24, but I just wasn't going to be able to make it, so I got to make it the most today. Rooting my guys on and just trying to ice it before we got to bowl the next match.
How long have you been dealing with this knee injury?
2009. It's been a long time.
What from?
Probably bad form, too much driving in the car too, and I just haven't got it right.
Well, let's hope the pain goes away so you can get up there and help with your team.
Thanks.
Randy, nursing injuries is something that every player deals with at one point.
Well, Mike, I've had 3 knee surgeries, and I was talking with Patrick Allen just a couple of days ago. I had my last knee surgery about 2 years ago, still had some knee pain, and then went to see another physician at home, and we started the PRP injections, which is the platelet-rich plasma. And after my second injection, I've been pain-free ever since. That was over a year ago. So I relayed that information to Patrick Allen, and I think Patrick Allen's going to look into it.
Mike Devaney up for Philadelphia on the string, and Randy, there's one of those flat 10 pins we talked about earlier.
Yeah, and that's when the ball just kind of lays in the oil a little bit too long, so when it comes off the end of the pattern, it just doesn't have enough strength or enough pop to drive through the pins hard enough.
Mike Devaney owns 2 PBA Tour titles, and in fact, Devaney captured the most recent of those 2 titles right here at Thunderbolt Lanes back in the 2009 Scorpion Championship, where he defeated Jason Belmonte. Spare conversion for Devaney.
Just looking out for those pebbles.
2-time PBA Tour titleist.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
And what we're competing for, that is the Elias Cup, currently held by the New York City WTT Kingpins. The Elias Cup named for the founder of the PBA, Eddie Elias, who formed the Professional Bowlers Association with charter members back in 1958. And the tradition lives on in this PBA league. O'Neal for the Hitmen, back in the pocket, and 10 back.
How was that, Mac? All right? I moved. I went high the last time, so I moved. I'll teach you. Don't worry. Settle down, son. Well, he's railing me. I can't have it. Shut your mouth, too.
A little back and forth between the teams. City of brotherly love. Palermo with a strike, and Pittsburgh trying to avoid the first 0-3 deficit of this PBA League quarterfinals.
I'll tell you what, after those 2 splits that Osku threw in that first match against Bill O'Neal, he's been pretty solid ever since.
Martin Larson up for Pittsburgh, and he drives a strike back. So we've got a lead change for the first time in trios. Pittsburgh has picked up the lead. If they fall 0-3, they would need to win the team to force a sudden death roll-off.
Great shot here by Martin. Look at him feed that ball to the right, and he likes it. His teammates like it.
Blanchard drops his strike, the Collegiate Player of the Year back in 2007-8.
Please hook, please hook, please hook.
And another lead change.
I'm like, oh, I had a chance, and I'm like, oh my God. I thought it was good, and then it didn't want to hook.
Josh Blanchard bowling for Wichita State as a collegiate All-American. Handing over to Devaney now in the foundation frame. Philadelphia can increase their lead. And Devaney drops the rack in the 9th.
Well, the Jackrabbits need to get up here and strike in the 9th frame so they can finish this match with 278 if they go off the sheet.
I was going to go higher, I was going to go flush. I threw it right. Mountain oil in the lane.
Big shot here.
Come on, man.
3-6, 7-10 split.
Moved.
On the hooking lane, Ronnie Russell goes high, and their chances of winning this game now very slim. He's going to have to try to slide the 3 into the 7, and the ball will take out the 6 and the 10. Bad time for this to happen. Great shot.
Great shot keeping Pittsburgh in as they try to avoid going down 0-3. Let's get another look at that hammer, tough, spare replay on the conversion of the split.
Well, this is just how you draw it up. Watch the 3-pin go and get the 7. The ball takes care of the rest.
Palermo can fill it up for 254. 10th frame, 4-pin, and a 9.5.
Well, this is something you don't see every day. The 9-pin was going down. In fact, it just fell down because it was actually moved off spot where the machine couldn't actually pick it up and set it back down to where it was. You could see how far over it gets moved. It's now almost in between where it's supposed to be and where the 10-pin sits.
And the pin spotter drops it back on spot. And open frame for Pittsburgh for 231.
Sorry, Mike. They're going to go down 0-3 now. So their only chance would be to win the team portion and then win the roll-off. Otherwise, they'll be eliminated from competition. They're going to have to do that with one of their players nursing a pretty bad knee.
O'Neill finishing up in the anchor slot for Philadelphia. First 3-0 advantage of this PBA League quarterfinals. And both managers thinking ahead to how they'll position their 5-player across the Baker team game coming up. A lot of potential anchor players on that bench, Randy, coming up in team.
There really is. I mean, you could put Simonelli there, who I think probably has a shot that'll hold up better than anybody else's on the team. Remember, each player only bowling 2 frames, with your anchor bowler bowling the 10th. You have Simonelli, you have Dan McClellan that can get it done, you have Bill O'Neill that can get it done.
Philadelphia 3-0 over Pittsburgh in this PBA League quarterfinal. And the Hitmen firmly in control. Pittsburgh will need to win team and force a roll-off. Team action for 3 points coming next in the PBA League.